Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to yet another cast. And I know it's been a while, but I am finally back, and we'll just go ahead and jump right on in. The loading screen was just a little bit bugged out right there, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the players. We do have Liquid TLO playing as the Blue Zerg, spawning in the upper right in Daybreak, whereas on the other side of the map, spawning as the Red Zerg in this ZVZ. We have Acer Paranoid, Acer's Paranoid. I don't know if Acer Paranoid is another player. Of course, by now, if it, whoops, wrong button, wrong click there. If you have seen StarCraft 2, if you've heard of StarCraft 2, hopefully you do know who TLO is, the little one. Uh-oh, it does look like TLO is going for something a little bit interesting. He's going for a 10 pool. Liquid TLO is starting off this brief, small series of games in a 10 pool. That is really interesting. I don't quite know why he's doing that. Obviously, he wants to try to defeat his opponent. And yeah, there goes down the pool. And let's see just exactly how he does it. He does decide to go for another drone, probably going to add another Overlord as well. And then he's just going to bum rush his opponent. There is no pool yet for Paranoid. If he goes hatch first, it's just going to be one of those rock, paper, scissors situations where it's going to be impossibly difficult to come back from. TLO, if his link control can keep up, then he should be fantastic. Actually, we did see a little extractor trick and then Overlord from TLO. That's a bit interesting. 10 pool extractor trick, Overlord. Gotta remember that because I play Zerg. Oh my gosh, no, Paranoid, don't do it. He has the minerals. He's gonna be doing it. Oh yes, he is going hatch first. TLO is going to be throwing down 6 Zerglings right away. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are immediately going to be headed right across the map the moment they finish, and hopefully Paranoid will be able to hold on. Still no pool though. This is such a greedy opener. All the way up to 16 supply with no pool. He's finally saving up his minerals a little bit for that pool, but oh, it is so very, very late. More and more Zerglings are in production. They will get spotted by this Overlord, and Paranoid, how does he react? He sees it. He's got to see it. He's got to know. And he continues mining because, of course, what else can he do when he only has a hatchery and his spawning pool just started? More and more Zerglings are on their way across the map. It does look like TLO is actually going to go take his natural just now. So he wants to try to put on the early aggression, try to catch his opponent, throw his opponent on the back foot and win. Maybe not win, but at least set his opponent behind in just a little bit of a macro game. And there we go. I done it again. Oops, I done it again. I left Skype on with audio. Let's turn all of these, boom, off. There we go. Okay, and the Zerglings are attacking the natural. If they can bring down his natural, this was actually going to be really, really big for TLO because then he'll have his natural faster than his opponent. Uh-oh, looks like TLO is trying to focus it down. A great, great amount of control and surround from Paranoid. He manages to get the surround on the links. They are getting dangerously low, but the drone count, oh my gosh, the links actually got taken care of. Paranoid survived. He did lose 5 workers. If we take a look at the units tab, it is currently about even, but Paranoid survived. He's got his natural. It is dangerously low. He does have a few Zerglings headed across the map. It does look like 4, 5 Zerglings are on the way to try to shut down the natural for TLO, but he has got to see this coming. He is going to have enough control to be able to hand it with significantly less losses than his opponent. Unfortunately, the hatchery for TLO did not finish because it was delayed by the rush. Didn't quite finish in a timely manner, so he is starting to fall behind just a little bit in terms of production. Here come the Zerglings. Let's see if they will be able to do anything. The Zerglings for TLO, along with the Queen, are going to be able to dissuade this. There are a few workers sitting. A little bit of misclick outside of the gas. More and more Zerglings are popping just now, so they are going to be able to scare away these other few Zerglings. Great, great control from TLO, just shutting it down as much as possible, even using the Queen's ranged attack from the high ground. I absolutely love TLO's micro. Fantastic control. Yeah, it does look like Paranoid in the meanwhile. He has just been throning very, very hard. We take a look at the units tab. He's already ahead 7, 8 workers. So getting ahead in those workers is really, really going to put him ahead in early econ. He does have those queens out to try to snipe any sort of overlords. Maybe we'll be seeing a transfuse go down on a hatchery sometime soon. But no, they are just continuing to poop creep for now. Both players are content to sit back and macro up. Oh, excuse me. This is TLO we're talking about. No, he's not content with macro. He's immediately throwing down a Baneling Nest and trying to go for another aggressive attack. There are Overlords and Zerglings all over the map though, so he is going to have to be careful which position he decides to try to attack from. This Baneling Nest hasn't been spotted quite yet, but here come a lot of Zerglings. There is no Zergling speed on the way for either player. It looks like TLO is going to try to win, and Paranoid actually sees all of those Zerglings, immediately throwing down a Spine Crawler along with two Spine Crawler along with two Evolution Chambers, three Evolution Trainer Chambers, and the Queen to wall it off, even pooping out the creep. He's going to have to be really careful, though. Those Banelings are in production. They can do a lot of damage. And, oh, man, TLO scouts the wall. What can he do? Is he going to try to bust it with the Banelings? Is he going to pull back and try to win the game with macro? It's going to be really difficult for TLO to bust this. He really has to make this work. He's behind in macro. He's behind in, well, I was about to say he's behind an army, and oh man, Paranoid doesn't even care. He even throws down his Spine Crawler out front to completely wall it off before finally backing off completely. TLO just sitting back, macroing up instead. We do have some of those Evolution Chambers being put to use, getting +1 melee and Carapace, so it does look like we are going to be seeing Paranoid stick to mostly Zergling play for now. Both players continuing to macro up. I just want to take a look at the units real quick, and oh man, Paranoid 45 drones to 30 for TLO. So Paranoid is feeling very, very comfortable right now in terms of supply. He is going to have to be careful though with what he's going for. He is walling off completely, and TLO is continuing with the aggression, building more and more Zerglings. It looks like those Zerglings randomly took a little bit of damage over there. Let's see, TLO might actually just try to bust this and completely end it. Metabolic Boost is only 40 seconds in. I don't know what TLO is doing. He's Baneling busting another Zerg. Leave it up to TLO to come up with something absurd, but this is just amazing. We do see more and more Zerglings streaming across the map. A few... Oh, I was about to say a Baneling Nest in production, but no, it is a Roach Warren instead for Paranoid, so it looks like he's going to sit back. This wall is so heavy. Looks like if TLO is going to bust it, how much damage does Banelings do against buildings? 80 damage to structures. Oh, here they go. They are going to bust right down the middle, bringing down three Evolution Chambers, and they all go down. The Zerglings streaming in. One of the Banelings might be able to get into the middle line. The Zerglings are going to do a lot of damage over here. Oh man, this could be really dangerous. A Baneling nukes onto the drones, and they do take a lot of damage. TLO actually just Baneling busted another Zerg, and it looks like he is succeeding. We take a look at the workers killed. 13 workers killed. Great job from TLO. Speed just finishing. He's getting into the middle line in the main now, picking off as many drones as he can. Queens are trying to clean it up. A few Zerglings are spawning for Paranoid. The drones are now attacking the Zerglings as well, but they will be able to clean it up ever so barely. TLO actually still has a few Zerglings left, still alive. And, uh-oh, it does look like Paranoid going for the counterattack now. TLO may not be able to survive this. He didn't finish off his opponent. Suddenly, he has to survive this counterattack. Does he have any Banelings morphing back at his base? He does have a few, but they are going to be going down behind this wall. Oh, man, TLO, this is going to be really crazy if you manage to hold this off. The Zerglings swinging in. Oh, they managed to run right into Queen, doing a lot of damage. More and more Zerglings are popping out, but TLO won't be able to keep up with the production for Paranoid if they continue to trade back and forth like this. TLO is so very far behind, actually now mining on two gas, so TLO getting a layer as well. What are you going for? Actually throwing down a Spire off of 2 base. This is insane from TLO. I don't know what he's doing, but he seems to be having fun with it, actually scaring away the rest of those Zerglings. And yeah, it does look like both players are finally settling down a little bit. If TLO decides to relax with these Zerglings, he looks like he's going to be scouting that third base, just going to see what is going on. Losing that Overseer. Nope, he actually manages to keep it alive and gets us around on the Queens. That is actually really, really awesome. The Queens transfusing each other to keep themselves alive. Actually, one Queen manages to live with 4 HP, and it goes down. Uh-oh, a few Banelings swinging him from behind might be popping on those Zerglings, but no, Paranoid will have absolutely none of that. He decides, you know what, I am going to keep my units alive with my impeccable reaction speed, and TLO continuing with the aggression. He wants Paranoid. He wants this game to be over. Taking a look at the units tab, it is 54 to 45, so it does look like Paranoid is falling behind just a little bit in terms of his lead. A few Banelings are getting detonated. We are going to go ahead and drop the menu so we can see what's going on. And a great Baneling bust manages to bring down a lot of Zerglings. Looks like this third base for Paranoid might be going down as well. lot of Zerglings are on the way as well to continue to reinforce this. Looking at the production tab, we have some roaches to try to clean this up. I don't know if it's going to be enough roaches. 7 Mutalisks in production for TLO. Real quick, I just want to take a look at Paranoid's vision and see. He knows that the Inspire is in production. Oh man, a great Baneling bust on a few more drones. The drones are being forced to pull as well. TLO continuing to continue to put up the pressure. Looks like the third might go down. A Queen about to pop out as well. That Queen is going to be completely on her own against those Zerglings as the Zerglings continue to mop up additional drones and roaches. But as you guys know, Zerglings do how much damage? What is that? No, it is 5 damage without upgrades. And uh-oh, here come the Mutas. The Mutas are attacking Overlords. They really need to be getting into the base, doing as much as they can before the counterattack comes from Paranoid. Paranoid actually swinging around with his Zerglings and Roaches. He is going to try to make something happen at TLO's base, but it is almost completely walled off. And here comes the Zerglings into the main. No, they aren't going to make it in time. The Roaches, though, are going to be pretty scary as they are armored. They do not take that much damage from the Mutalisks, but they, once again, Paranoid is going to have to watch out for the Spine Crawlers at TLO's front. Meanwhile, TLO is continuing to put up the pressure with those Mutalisks. There are, in fact, Infestors on the way for Paranoid, so we will be able to catch a few of those Mutalisks with a fungal growth. One can only hope. And no, oh yes, does look like what is the name of the ability that the Overlords get? They do start with their increased 25 energy, so they will be able to fungal right out there. And oh, one missed fungal. The Mutalisks managed to make it out of there. Does look like a few Zerglings and Roaches are scouting the third for TLO. This is such an incredibly aggressive game, but the Mutalisks are going to shut it down. Unfortunately, I do believe that that tech switch will have been thwarted by the Infestors. More and more Zerglings are on the way to try to shut down the third. TLO continuing to snipe them off with his Mutalisks. Fantastic control. The Zerglings may be going for a run by right now. Oh, and they run right by the Spine Crawlers and make it into the main. They could do some serious damage. One Mutalisk spawns, and the Zerglings and drones are just entering into mortal combat as the Zerglings are finally going to be able to be cleaned up. Holy cow, such a fantastic game between both players. Really, really great. And 12 Spore Crawlers. 1, 2, no, that's 2. Okay. The leg on the Spore Crawler looked like a 12. It just threw me off for a second there and was absolutely terrifying. And TLO spreads across the map. That is absolutely horrifying. He wants blood. He is going to be going for the third. Once again, there's a Spore Crawler in production, a single Infestor ready, another one just popping, and it does have the start of increased energy. A great sped from TLO, dodging the fungal growth. One does land. A few more are thrown out as well, along with a few infested Terrans. One of the Mutalisks do go down, but these Infestors are going to have to be really careful against the Zerglings. They retreat to the safety of the Spine Crawler, but they just might go down anyways. And here come all of those Mutalisks. They are continuing to try to shut down all of these Infestors. They are beginning to take a lot of damage. That's a lot of Infestors go down. That's a lot of gas down the drain. And with the increased Heart of the Swarm, the Mutalisks will get increased regeneration, so all TLO has to do is retreat with his weakened Mutalisks, come back 30 seconds later, and they will be at full health, and he will be able to continue to keep up the pressure. Meanwhile, the Zerglings are continuing to attack at the third base. Oh my goodness, this is such an insane game. TLO continuing to keep up the aggression, running into the natural now. If he can bring down those Spore Crawlers, then those Mutalisks will have just about free reign until the Infestors pop out. There are no Infestors actually in production, so TLO is going to bring down the natural, and this is going to be really, really fantastic for him. Paranoid's going to have a very, very difficult time coming back from this, coming back from the unit production, and even the Econ. A lot of Zerglings are now on their way across the map. Looks like Paranoid is just going to try to go for a backstab to force TLO to pull back, but TLO will have none of it. He's just going to continue attacking with his entire army, and uh-oh, the Zerglings are going to run into the completely undefended third for TLO. Uh-oh, this poor Queen and those drones. Great job putting the Queen into a corner. It does have +1/+2 armor, so those Zerglings aren't going to do too terribly much damage, but a lot of those drones get shut down from the few Zerglings in the back. Let's see, it does look like Paranoid does have a few upgrades. Real quick, I want to take a look at that. Paranoid is sitting at +2 melee, +2 carapace, along with +1 missile attack, whereas TLO only at the +1/+1 with no attack. He does have +1 flyer attack, though, so he really wants those Mutas to do as much damage as possible. So it does look like TLO is coming in again to the third. Oh my goodness, TLO, you are one very unhappy puppy. Adding in a few more Banelings just to shut down additional Zerglings. Really quick, I just want to drop you guys so we can get some better view. And oh, only one Mutalisk gets caught in that sniping out of an Infestor that was caught out of position. That is so very, very bad for Paranoid. He needs to have better control on those Mutalisks. He needs to keep the Infestors alive so that they can shut down the Mutalisks. Uh-oh, here come the Banelings. A great fungal growth catches them, and they might go down. No, they survive before finally bursting on another Infestor coming in from the back. And, oh man, it does look like there's yet another backstab coming down from Paranoid, trying to shut down the economy from TLO, doing whatever he can, but all TLO needs to do is put a queen in hold position over there, and he will be all set. He won't have to worry anything about this. He does actually not even have to worry about that because he has made spine crawlers in his third base. What an aggressive game. Both players are doing a great job so far. Paranoid barely hanging on by the seat of his pants. Already you can see TLO's constant aggression has put him 50 supply ahead of his opponent. That really has got to be making TLO feeling very comfortable, as if he can read the supply of his opponent. And look at how confident TLO is attacking the Spore Crawler. A great split on the Milos. A fantastic fungal growth, blocking some of them down, and the Zerglings coming in from behind. All of the investors are going to go down, but that Spore Crawler is just going to town on the Milos, getting 3 kills. That is absolutely fantastic, but now these Milos are going to wreak havoc on the natural. They just might shut it down again. There's yet another backstab at the third base from Paranoid, but it is going to be cleaned up very quickly. TLO continuing to attack. Looks like he's going to shut down the third once again, and Paranoid GG's out of game 1. Holy cow, what a fantastic game between both players. Really fantastic play from both of them. TLO, with incredible aggression all game, has got to be feeling pretty comfortable. He knows he can try to be aggressive again, win the game, tire his opponent out, reduce his opponent's endurance, or he might just, sit back, macro up, take that early second, or maybe even go for an early third and get that 200 supply. It was a really great game, and hopefully we will be seeing just as good play in game number 2. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next game.